So hey guys, Josh here. Just a short introduction for to those who does not know me yet. I'm a basketball player in Sacred Heart School at the University of Cebu. And in this segment, I'll be talking more about sports. First of all guys, I would like to thank you for joining and being with us in our first episode. And now that we are bound to the second episode, I welcome you all in this show of Quaranteens. So guys, in this episode, I would share with you my experience of how did I get into basketball and my opinion of my top 5 UAAP basketball players. So who are they? I will start with my top 5. Kobe Paras. Kobe Paras is a shooting guard and power forward playing for the UP Fighting Maroons. What I love about his playing style is that he knows how to use his advantage being a tall player. And for your information guys, Kobe Paras is standing 6'6 feet tall. He's a good leader to his teammates on and off the court. The way he plays is that he has the confidence and aggressiveness and ability to shoot long-range shots. And he's also well guided by his father, Benji Paras, a professional basketball player too. So my top 4, SJ Villanghel. He plays for the Ateneo Blue Eagles and SJ is a shooting guard / small forward. He's very confident in playing and very hardworking on and off the court. He has also experienced a lot of championship games and won championships. What I like about him is that he's really consistent in shooting, or he really have this shooting ability in which it is a big contribution to their team. His humbleness and patience in playing. Top 3, Ray Suerte. He plays for UE or University of the East. Ray Suerte also plays all guard positions 1, 2, and 3. He is a good leader on and off the court and to his teammates. What I love about him is that he's really consistent in playing in his playmaking ability and physicality. And he's also really trusted by his coach in UE and one of the mythical 5 in UAAP Season 82. So my top 2 is Renz Abando. Renz Abando plays for USC Growling Tigers. He's also an all-guard player positions 1, 2, and 3. What I like about him is that he's really athletic. The way he handles the ball on court, with his athleticism, it gives a big impact on his scoring ability. He's also a playmaker and a clutch player. He can really be trusted if the game is on close or in the last minutes because of his high basketball IQ and his experience in the province and being a provinciano. So now, we are bound to my top 1. 30 Ravenna. I really saw him play and watch his practices in the Blue Eagle Gym or in Moro. He's really very hardworking on and off the court. His leadership gives really a big impact to their team and his tough and focused mentality during games and practices. What I admire about him is that his build and athleticism, his basketball IQ, and his playmaking ability, the way he reads the defense and make plays for the team to score, that he is really unselfish and knows how to pass. 30 is also an all-around player and knows how to adjust and know his positions. And he achieved 3 straight consecutive MVPs in UAAP, season 80, 81, and 82. And that's for my top 5 UAAP basketball players. For me, it's really sad for us athletes and other individuals that the rest of season 82 was officially cancelled and the possibility that there will be no season 83. It's due to the ongoing novel coronavirus we are facing right now. As it was said, the rules and regulations has not met the guidelines for this event to happen. Although that is really sad to hear, but first we need to consider the health and safety of our athletes and the individuals or the fans who might be watching. We may not see our idols playing this UAP tournament for now, but soon, as we flatten the curve, things will go back in time. We just need to have hope and make the most out of it with the situation we are facing right now. And still, we need to abide to these rules and regulations so that we can help flatten the curve in this pandemic we are facing and go back to the usual activities we do. So guys, I would like to share to you my experience on how did I get into the sport of mine, basketball. Well, first of all, I really started getting involved in a varsity team when I was in grade 6. So I've been playing basketball for 4 years already to present. But before that, most of my barkadas or friends are really into sport. They were the ones who inspired and invited me to join the sport. Way back then, when I was in grade 4 or 5, I used to be so chubby. But then like a year after, it's a sudden change that I grew taller and got thinner. My height at that time was around 5'10". But it really turned me in when my dad gave me my first basketball shoes. I was like, oh, this is really the sign. I have the shoes needed already and supportive friends. So I started into the tryouts. Just information, I'm still studying at University of San Jose Recoletos. So my first experience in our basketball training or in my practice was that I was really shy because I don't really have that much of a skill. But luckily, I have the supported friends of mine, and in time, because of my height, coaches saw a potential in me and helped me in my trainings to improve. So just a fast forward to my memorable game or tournament, who changed my life and brought me to who I am today. This was the City Meet, in which schools within the city get to play, but we lost on our first game, but luckily, I was picked up by their coach to be part of their team to represent Cebu City for Severaa. And during Severaa, we won a lot of games. But I would just like to highlight that we reached the finals but we lost. But then, the winning team and the coach saw a potential in me because of my height and the way I played, that it could really help their team to represent Region 7 for the Palarong Pambansa 2018. From this tournament, we only reached the quarterfinals. During these tournaments, there are a lot of different scouting coaches, and there were a lot of offers from different schools. But the school I picked is Sacred Heart School at Ateneo de Cebu, in which I'm a member now of their Magis Eagles basketball team. There were really a lot of challenges that I experienced until I get to be part of this Magis Eagles team. But what kept me going was realizing and being grateful for what I have achieved and what I am before, and looking back from where I have started. These failures and mistakes I've experienced made me stronger to get going and to bounce back. My dream career in this world of sport is that I get to play for a national team representing Philippines and having the pride as a Filipino and to get to the professional league of basketball. Then guys, basketball indeed gave a big change to my life. It made me who I am today. I got more disciplined in my lifestyle, my character towards my teammates and coaches. I learned how to mingle with them, accepting each and everyone's flaws, knowing that we have to build our chemistry. For we know that basketball is a team play, and we need to have this bond as a team. For coaches, I consider them as also my parents, for I believe that they know what's best for me. I really applied what they taught me in terms of sports and my own individual character. And lastly, this basketball career of mine made me more conscious about my health and eating habits. The junk foods and sodas that I loved during my childhood is not already part of my eating hobbies. For I know that this is not just for my basketball, but these habits can benefit me as an individual.
Wondered how to achieve and maintain a healthy and fit body? Well, actually, I have some tips for you. Just stay tuned. But before anything else, don't get fooled, you guys, because actually I'm not into that everyday hardcore workout routine. But as I'm into pageantry and also a public figure, I still am enjoying exploring and tasting all the glories of food. So don't get me wrong. So tonight, we're gonna talk about how I maintain my figure and also my meal plans and other routines. But you know what? As I have started pageantry since I was still 15 years old up to now that I am now 17, I haven't really restricted or limited myself in intaking food because I know a lot can agree and a lot will really say that I am not picky in terms of eating food. So in Bisaya terms, kung pagkaon ay istoryahan, wala jud ko'y pili. So name all the kind of foods that you love because I surely will agree to all of those because I just love food. But with all the love that I have for food, it could lead me to having an unhealthy body by always consuming too much fat, too much carb, and all the sweetest food you could ever name. So that is why I have my 1 to 2 hours go-to exercises which I only perform for about 3 or 4 times a week. Because especially now that we're just staying at our homes and just staying at our couches, sleeping, and not literally moving for most of the day. So that is why I have these to get some grooving and also to sweat some toxins out. So to start with my go-to exercise routines, I just want to share that I have this metabolism which is really weird, but also what I'm so thankful of because I tend to not get stomach fat. But the first one on my list is ab exercises, which comprises of sit-ups, planking, leg raises, Russian twists, and also flutter kicks. So performing the 5 of this may be really painful, but with consistency, you can really get results in time. So the next one on my list is for my legs and for my glutes. Because of the fact that it takes a really long time for me to get stomach fat, that is why all the food that I consume proceeds to my legs. So I have on my list lunges and Bulgarian split squats. And I also have squats and then glute bridges too. So I always somehow wear heels when going into public occasions. That is why I must have strong legs to prevent it from shaking. Also, I am a very adventurous person too. Mountain climbing, check. So the third one is for my arms. So just like my legs, my arms are actually one of the parts of my body that tends to accumulate so much fat or when I consume too much food. That is why I have on my list bicep curl ups, bent over rows, and squat to curl ups. So to just tighten my arms and make it more toned, to make it look better when I do like this. Or not. So for the last one on my list is I also added some cardio exercises, which is really good for the heart to strengthen it more. So I have burpees, I'm also using a jumping rope, and then high knees on my list. So my go-to exercises is actually paired with a meal plan. So the meal plan is not made by me, no, but it is actually arranged by a nutritionist, which is fit to my favorites like having cashews and almonds for snacks. So if you are planning to have that day-to-day guide on what to eat, have it arranged by a nutritionist because it is a much more healthier way of losing or gaining weight, which could also be fit to your liking. So how cool is that, right? Though I really want to remind all of the teens out there to enjoy your youthful days. I too have been skipping my exercises for months already and I have just resumed a month ago. So I'm not promoting to skip exercising but to not be too hard on yourself. Don't too over-idolize others or don't be too bothered by what others say. Because actually every body figure must be accepted and also must be celebrated. So this is it, teens. I hope you learned something from me or got something from my go-to exercises and meal plan. And also my advice on not be too hard on yourself, especially as a teen. So this is Francine Gamboa. Thank you so much.
guys. First of all, good evening to everyone, to all those viewers out there. I'd like to thank you for being with us and joining with us in this show of Quaranteens. So, hi, Francine.
Hi, Josh. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for providing the time to
So,
be with us in our quarantines, which we can never lock down a teen's mind. So, hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm really good. So, like, wow, really hyped kung sa Bisaya pa. Basta pagkaon mo dyan pili, di ba?
So,
Food
that
is
is
time.
really true, no? I am not
But,
picky.
yeah, yours was really insightful because you really highlighted a lot of parts, especially routine exercises like the core, legs, upper body. So, like, I have a question for you. So, like, di ba you usually work out like 2 to 3 times a week?
Yes,
Am I right?
yes. Or three to
Two to
four.
three times a week.
Actually, it depends on the
So,
schedule.
oh yeah. So, like, so what time do you usually work out? Like, is it around afternoon or morning? Like, what do you recommend to people? Like, based from your own experience?
Actually, a lot of people are doing their exercises early in the morning, so it's more like a day starter. But for me, I do my exercises in the afternoon, so usually at 1 o'clock because I'm really not that of a morning person. So I'm not into that waking up early in the morning. So that's why I have my exercises done during the afternoon. So which is all right because in terms of my experiences too is that even though I'm not waking up early in the morning, I still get to be productive in the afternoon. So how about you, Josh? What are your
Yeah,
exercise
yeah.
routines and how frequently do you do it in a week?
Well, yeah, for me, usually have this online practice of basketball. Like per week is like MWF Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or it depends on the schedule. Usually we practice Monday to Saturdays. It's really every day.
Mm.
Like we all know that in this new normal, we have this online class. So we usually finish our class at 2 p.m. We start our practice around 4 or 3:30, and yeah, it ends around like 5:30. So we have this 2 hours, at least 2 hours. And we do ball practice on Tuesdays or Thursday. And for our strength and conditioning, uh, we really focus more on legs because we all know basketball is more on running, jumping, yeah, like that.
Yeah. Well, you're really doing your exercises even in weekends. Well, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, I wish
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
be like that too. And then I have watched your video and wow, you have really discussed your top five
Yes, yes.
amazing basketball players. So, have you known them before you were
Yeah.
into basketball, or you have known them while you were into basketball already?
Oh, well, before, I was not really into sports. My family were not really into sports. I was just influenced by my
Mm,
friends. So I really know them while I was in sports.
mm. Wow. So I think you're really inspired by them, and you even got to meet your number one top basketball player. So how
Yes.
was the experience?
Yeah, 30. Oh, like siguro last year, we have this opportunity to practice in Manila or in ADMO University, Ateneo de Manila. So on that time, you really get to watch them play, watch their practices. Also, we have these tournaments, and it's really helpful and insightful for us knowing their work
Mm,
ethic, diba?
yeah. So what grade school are you now? You're grade 9.
Yeah, yeah. I'm grade
So
now,
when
currently
you
grade
go
9.
into college in the future, so are you gonna still be continuing your basketball journey or no?
Yeah, for me, as I've said, I really look back from where I've started. So like I would really take this opportunity to finish this basketball career of mine and really get the chance to play for the professional basketball or represent Philippines in the national team.
Yeah, you've mentioned it in your video, so
So
I
let's
hope
talk about yours naman. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, sir.
yeah. Do you have any cheat days? Like usually it's really been a busy week like that. Do you have any cheat days? Like you have these routines of yours, diba? You really have cheat days,
So
ganyan.
yeah, I have cheat
Cheat
days. I
days.
think everybody has, but I'm not sure with you if you have a cheat day, but I have my cheat days during Saturdays because it is more like a day where we get together with our family, so we spend our dinner together. So it's more like a cheat day because we have lots of food prepared. So sometimes I get to be so tempted with the foods on the table. So that's why that's my cheat day. And sometimes when I get too hungry in a day, and then the most easiest go to snacks are like chips and chocolate. So sometimes
Yeah.
I get tempted to pick them out.
But we all know like chips and that chocolates it really has high calories, right?
Yeah,
So
and
like
yes.
yeah, like when you work out, what do you usually focus on? Like the way you have these routines, like which part, like in a day or like in a week, what is your routine?
So
Like what
I
routines
I
do you
have
have?
I have a more in what I have mentioned in my video. Those routines were what I am doing in each day. So my target mostly is not just for a specific part of the body. So not only for the stomach or not only for the arms. So I want my exercise
Yeah, yeah,
routines to be targeted in the whole part of the body. So to make it more
yeah,
equal and balanced.
yeah. Balanced workout is really important. So, diba, you have this core workout, leg workout. We all know that core is like really in Visaya pa, kapwe jud, diba?
Yeah.
Planking, ganyan. 1 minute plank feels like a year or like, wow,
Especially the
it's so
last 10
long.
seconds part. It's
So in
so
core,
long.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we all know that in this exercises, the more we practice or the more we train, like in time, really get to have that goal we wanted, or like even with these idols we have, we also need to consider the capabilities we have. Like on which part we need to focus more on, or which part we need to find our weaknesses. Like need to know which part we are lacking, and in that we work on it, diba?
Yeah, that's why it's really important for us to know ourselves more, especially in our body, on which part do we need to exercise more and which part do we need to focus on, because our goal really is to have that balanced, healthy, and fit body. So not only for the stomach or whatnot, right?
Yeah, yeah. So to all those teens out there, don't be jealous of your idols. Know your weaknesses first or the disadvantage you have. And with that, you work on it. And in time, there, you get to be one of your idols. Or kayo na maging idol namin.
Yeah, and like in your video, like it's really nice that you have certain people who you are inspired with, like
Yeah.
the top 5 you have mentioned.
Yes,
So
yes.
it is really nice that when you have a certain goal in your life that you get to be inspired by some people, but don't be too over idolizing them that sometimes you get to be distracted to your goal. So that is why just be inspired by a lot of people, but don't let others comments disrupt you on your focus.
Yeah. So also that one, I said also that I really highlighted discipline because, yeah, this discipline really is a big change to my life. It really made me who I am today. Like you see these equipments at my back. I really have this routines every day, like treadmill for cardio, this bike or this dumbbell again. And
So do you have
so yeah.
like do you sometimes feel tired, like sometimes you don't want to start your workout
Yeah,
routines or something like that? Do you have those days?
yeah, well of course, really doesn't get tired. But for me, I really have this motivation of mine that from what I've said, I always look back to what I've started. Like I really wanna finish this basketball career of mine. Like I really have this goal or this future because as what I've said, what keeps me motivated are my goals to play for this national team and to get to the professional basketball league. So guys, when you feel down or when you feel like kapoy na mo workout, just go back to your goals. And with this, it keeps you motivated. And also that since it's been 4 years I've been training. So it's usually like it feels like if I can't work out for a day or I can't have this sweat for a day, I feel like there's something lacking in me, and that's what keep me
Mhm.
motivated.
Yeah, that is really so nice. So I hope a lot of people, and especially teens out there, are inspired by you. That you get to be so
Yes,
motivated by your goals that you stop your thoughts on stopping exercising, but instead be more focused on your goals so that you get to achieve them in the future.
yes, yes. Also that before we look to our future, we also need to know to our present. Like in this pandemic, as what I've said, we should take this as an opportunity to work harder and have this ways. Like we all know their space, or like we have this limited equipments only, but we all know if we want to pursue or to have this something or this dreams we have in life, there are ways for it.
Yes, it's so nice that you're really making use of your time, right? That even though we're just in our houses, you're still doing your trainings and being inspired by a lot of people and not letting
Yes.
this situation stop us from getting our goals. So it's really nice that you're so inspired by your goals. So, like me, I am into soccer, but I am not really that person who dreams for something big. So it's more like just something to do for fun. But it is really nice that in for you that you have it as a goal.
Yes, yes. And also to all those teens out there, don't just take it like I'll just do this for my sport, but we need to consider that being healthy or doing this routine exercises can really give a big impact to our health and being an
Yes, I
individual.
can relate to that. That sometimes when we do our exercises, it gets to be really tiring and really painful, especially in the ab exercises. But
Yeah.
really, with consistency, we could get our goals in time, and it is really nice to just endure the moment, and then later on, we will reach the successful state that we are all looking for, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we all know that, guys. It's really tiring to work out. Like, well, who wants to work out? We all know that it's really kapoy, but we need to consider and to have in mind that we're doing this for our own good. It's for ours. It's for our health.
Yeah, so it's really nice that when we are still teens, but we are into exercising, which really helps us in the future when we turn into adults, that we have started as a
Yes,
teens
yes.
to getting our bodies fit.
Yeah, also that we have these habits already or these routines which can help us apply.
Yeah, so in your area, like in your school or maybe with your basketball mates, we have someone who uplifts you up during your basketball life. So, Dubai, you have mentioned your top five, so mostly are
Yeah, yeah.
from different places. So, in your specific place, we have inspiring basketball players there too that keeps you inspired.
Yes, yes. Also that in my first episode I've mentioned that siguro in the like weekends or their schedules when our coaches get to invite guests like they're athletes. Also athletes like like there was a time when our guest was like also third year Avena, coaches also. And with them they share their stories to us to keep us motivated and be more inspired.
Mm, that is so nice. And then when we get
Yes.
back to the exercises, no, like me as a person, I have actually stopped doing my exercises for months already. And then I just
Yeah.
continued about a month ago. So I just would like to more like share a lesson that we should not be too hard on ourselves. That sometimes when we reach for something, when we have a goal, we tend to be so overworked, and then later on we get to be so stressed. So sometimes it's okay to rest, okay to relax, but then never forget what you have started, and then also never forget your goals.
Yes, I agree. And guys, as what I've said from the last episode, we have this guest on the list of online gadgets that can help us in this virtual
Yeah,
world.
we actually have a friend. So tonight we're gonna invite a friend who's gonna show us a list of gadgets or specific products that we must have, which will help us in our online classes. So, Gab, are you there?
When you hear the words back to school, you most likely picture things like
My video cut.
school
Yeah.
buses, textbooks, classrooms, and many more. But due to a global pandemic, the upcoming school year for this year is going to take
So
a
while
new
we're
shape
waiting
for
for the
many.
video, no, I hope
In
that a
addition to
lot will
notebooks,
watch this
pencils,
video
folders,
because
and
they
many
get
more,
to
you're going to
know
be
a lot
needing
of
to upgrade
gadgets and a
your
lot of
gadgets
products
too.
for
So
their.
here are my top 5 gadgets you'll be needing for the rest of the school year.
Hi
That
guys.
can
But
be
before
really
we jump
insightful
into
and
my
helpful,
top
guys.
5 list, I
Not
would
yet
like
po.
to introduce
Not yet.
myself.
Hello. Video.
Hello,
Thank you.
my name is Gabby Abbott and I'm your host for Teen King. I hope you guys will learn at least a thing or two in this short episode of
After
mine.
Gab's
So
video.
enough talking and more on the show. So
We
see
will
you
get
guys in
back
the next
to
clip.
you.
Peace out. So the first thing on my list is the Acer Nitro 5. Obviously, you will be needing a computer to attend classes. Well, it doesn't have to be a computer, you can use your phone or a tablet, but preferably a computer so that your workflow won't be disturbed. You will be needing a fast running computer, which is the Acer Nitro 5. For its price point, under 30,000 pesos, you will be getting an i7 processor. A very good deal in my eyes. So for number 2 on my list, we have here a tablet. I have here the iPad 6 Gen, but you don't really need an iPad. You can just buy any tablet you want, but it needs a microphone, a camera, and a good processor and a good RAM. For RAM, you need at least 1.5 gigabytes of RAM onwards. For the processor, you need at least a quad-core processor or an octa-core processor. Those specs are enough for you to multitask apps. So yeah guys, let's move on to the third gadget. What's up? My phone is acting up, so I had to use the iPad. So like I told you guys before, the iPad, a tablet is a good number 2. Anyways, the show must go on. So for the third gadget on my list, I have the HP Class. So as the name suggests, it's very classic. Just looking at the design, it's very classic. It's very minimalistic. So if you're a minimalist like me, this mouse is good for you. It's plug and play, so it gets the job done right away. Now moving on to our second to the last gadget in our list, I suggest that you guys get a microphone. Specifically the blue Snowball. It's 4,000 pesos, so it's a bit pricey, but you get what you pay for. Very durable, good quality mic, plug and play, so it gets the job done. Moving on to our last item in our list, and that is a ring light or any type of light source that will make you visible. All right, you can use a lampshade or a ring light, which is what I use. And yeah, so it's very self-explanatory. The reason why you need a light is so that people can see you, teachers would see you clearly, your crush can see you, so that you would look good in front of your crush. Am I right? And yeah, so that is the last item in our list. Now, if you guys enjoyed this, go like this live stream and share it with your friends so that your friends won't miss out. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
So once again, guys, good evening. Please help me welcome Gab Yabut, one of our quarantines. I hope you really learned a lot from this video or that list of highly recommended gadgets in the spiritual world. It was really so helpful, man.
Yes, Gab, thank you so much for sharing your insights on what gadgets to use, and especially some tips on the lighting as well, and when we have our cameras on. So, Gab, which specific product are you most thankful for, especially on online classes?
Oh, it has to be my laptop. If I don't have a laptop, I don't have an attendance for my teacher to. So I would say it's my laptop. So yeah.
I can really relate to that, that we are so thankful for these laptops, and especially on computers and phones that could save us from this pandemic right now, that we have a specific product to use to enable us to have our online classes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
So, guys, Gab's video or Gab's insights was really so helpful to all those teens and viewers out there. I hope it really helped you. Those list recommendations, it was like wow. And Gab, I have a question for you. Like in this gadgets or in this online world, I know that it's really new for us. Like for me, I can really experience this from my laptop. Like the quality of the camera isn't really that good. So like why is this? Or like why is this happening?
Mm. Primarily it's because of it's like a camera for your laptop. So it's a laptop is really designed for like making presentations, not purely on like a video conference. But as of now, it's for video conference. But I can't really say anything to why um,
So I
Oh,
guess we
yeah,
have learned a
yeah,
lot from Gab's video, right? Josh, we have learned a lot, and
that's true.
I hope that all of you teens out there also gained a lot of information to help you on choosing which products should you use, and also some tips to make you look better online.
Yes, guys, to all those teens out there, I hope you learned a thing or two, and that could really help you in this new setup or in this virtual world.
Yeah, because
So,
sometimes,
Francine,
yes,
yeah, let's go back to our talk a while ago about those routines we have, things we do in this new normal, or the workouts we have.
also Gab's back. Hi, Gab.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So do you have? I
Yeah,
have a question
I'm
for
back.
you.
I'm sorry about my internet.
So, Gab, do you have also some
It's
tips
okay.
that were not included in your video? Some tips you could share to us on how to look good on cam?
Oh yeah. First is you need a good you need a light source, a good light source, and I would say you would fix your face. I mean, is that right, Francine? I'm not sure, but yeah, you gotta look presentable
Yeah.
for the
How about
teachers and for
do
the
you
coach.
recommend do you recommend a webcam, Gab? Do you recommend a webcam? Like, is webcam really useful
Webcam.
if we have this low
Um,
quality?
I would say the Lenovo XP, something like that in numbers.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I don't memorize all the gadget names, but it's like a
That's
Lenovo
it.
something. It has like a 720p camera, so that's good enough
Mhm.
for a for a camera
But
like
is it really
like a Type
costly?
2. Yeah, it's like 2,000 pesos. So
Oh,
and
yeah.
plus 1,000 pesos plus.
But
So I
sometimes
guess
no.
it's costly.
Yo,
But sometimes it's worth it when we want to look good on cam. So we have to also buy specific
Yeah, true.
products that will help us. And I think there are also different products which are having a good quality but are cheap, right?
Yeah, true.
yeah.
So, Gab, thank you so much for sharing your insights on how to look good online and also for the specific products that we get to use. So, I hope a lot of teens out there can relate and also can gain some insights and info on what to use.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you as
man.
well for presenting me as well. Thank you guys. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So, Josh, to continue on
Yeah.
our topic last time,
Sure,
a
sure.
while ago, so what certain do you have like a certain quote or a phrase that lets you get inspired when you continue on your basketball journey, like a specific quote or a saying?
For me, what really it's I don't really have this quote, but I only have this thing in mind for me is that hard work really beats talent.
Mhm.
When talent fails to work. For me, yet in time, if we have this work ethic or if we know how to really work hard, we know that in working hard, we can get to improve and in time we get to achieve these goals of ours as long as we have this trait of being disciplined and being motivated and being committed to your goals.
Yes, I can relate to that because at first I am not really into pageantry. So I think that it is way out of my line. But then in time, I have learned that you could really achieve something if you just work hard for it, as what have you said earlier. So with all the efforts that you have applied, I think that we could
Yeah,
really
yeah.
achieve something great in our life, even though as we're still teens, right?
Yeah, it's very true because as what I've said with hard work, it really beats talent. And yeah, in this quarantine or no, as what I've said before when I joined basketball, like I didn't really know a thing or two. But I'm lucky and thankful enough that I was handled by coaches, good coaches, because they saw a potential in me. And you should take that as an opportunity because not all of us can have these coaches or to have these supportive friends of yours. So it made me realize that I really need to work hard and to follow what they taught me so that it can really help me to achieve this basketball career of mine.
Yes, and I think that a lot of people also should keep in their mind that when they think or think of something that they want to achieve something, they should not be limited to the fact that they think that they are not capable of
Yeah.
it. Like they should be inspired by people like you too, that you could, even though that when you started it you don't know a thing or two, but then in time you'll be masters of it, and then some people will be able to appreciate your skills, like you have said a while ago that some people have recognized it. So what is the feeling of being recognized by your how you play and then your height too?
For me, I'm really grateful, and for me, I don't really take it like I should learn how to stay humble, because if you know that if you're humble enough, there are more people who would admire you, and there are more people willing to help you. So just put in mind that still, if even if I'm really good at this, we all know that basketball or in other sports or in our world, things really evolve. So never stop learning, never stop working
So this
hard.
is it, guys. I hope you learned a lot from us, especially in this episode of us. So I hope that you have gained some insights, especially on which gadgets to use and some tips from our friend Gab. And also, I hope you were inspired by people like us, like Josh, that we have some inspirations too, but then we keep on working hard. And even though that we have some struggles when while we achieve something, we should never stop. And then even though that we have achieved something, always stay humble and then be yourself, and then don't let the excitement get to you, but be humble enough in dealing with it, right, Josh?
Yes, yes. And to all those viewers out there, we really thank you guys for being with us in this episode 2 of ours. I hope you'll still be there joining us on our following episodes. And guys, thank you so much. Once again, I'm
And
Josh,
this is Francine.
and we are the
We are the
Quaranteens.
Quaranteens.
Thank you guys.